Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. I'm sure you've heard Chester Bennington died, and it really got me thinking about how much of an impact Linkin Park and just kind of music in general, rock music, let me rephrase, has had on my life, especially throughout high school and college. So what I thought I'd do is kind of, while I talked about that, show you how I used to do my makeup in high school and college. As far as the makeup itself actually goes, I was not adventurous one bit. And just to kind of give you an idea of when I started really getting into, full faces of makeup, it was only really about 4 or 5 years ago. So it was about 4 or 5 years ago when I got diagnosed with chronic hives, which means that basically the doctors don't know what causes it for me. I have totally random triggers, things that we probably don't even think about, in day-to-day life. And any little thing that I touch, that I eat, that I come into contact with basically can cause me to break out in full body hives. The one thing that I learned, though, was that if I had on face makeup, even if it was just like a powder, something on my face prevented the hives from affecting my face. So that's when I really started to get into it and thought, well, if I'm going to wear this face makeup, I may as well try to do it well and not just for the sake of wearing it. I used to work in a job that was very, very heavily focused on customer service, and it was something that was very, I don't want to say painful, but it was so embarrassing to me to be up in front of people, like right in their faces, and be so ashamed of how I looked because I didn't want to scare them off. I didn't want to give them a bad impression, but there was literally nothing that I could do to look any better. At least with makeup, I felt so much more confident. I felt like I could be myself and that the people were really paying attention to me and not just what my face looked like because I looked scary. So rewind a couple of years. We're going to start with college first, and you guys will see why in a little bit. But throughout college, I do actually have pictures of college. I was, I don't know if I was just lazy or if I was just a poor college student, because I was a poor college student. I mean, who isn't? Maybe it just didn't really appeal to me at the time, but for whatever reason, I hardly wore any makeup. And that was when my acne, my cystic acne, was the worst. The only makeup I really wore in college was concealer, and I wish I could find the same concealer for you guys. I loved it. It was like this Physicians Formula concealer that came in a little round pan, like probably about this big, and it was like a refillable compact. You could take it out once it was gone and put a new one in. It was, I'm pretty sure it was actually a little too dark for me because they didn't come in that many shades. They came in like 3, light, medium, and deep. The closest thing that I could find to it was one that I picked up in the UK, and this is the 17 Floor Paint Concealer. And I did not believe in brushes. I only use my fingers. So all I did was I took a concealer, and I had my little mirror, so I don't have the big one blocking my view. And I would literally just take my finger into the concealer and put it on the areas where I either had like problem spots, where I had acne, or I put them under my eyes and on my lids because they're definitely a different color than the rest of my skin. So all I did, oh lord, this concealer is not my color. Anyway, so all I did was take the concealer and pat it on any areas where I had some kind of discoloration. And I did not believe in blending back then, so pretty much what I'm doing here is all I did. And I would just tap it under my eyes, on my lids. And then I would take my pinky finger and touch up on the areas that were too big, or too small rather, for my regular fingers to fit. So just like little areas of hyperpigmentation. My acne scarring was a lot worse back then. It was a lot more deeper and more defined. Like right now, it's really not that bad, but I'm going to put a little bit on some of them. You can definitely still see some of the spots, you know, coming through on my cheeks and some hyperpigmentation right here. But I didn't believe in brushes, or I didn't know they existed back then, and I did the best I could with my fingers, but sometimes it just didn't work. I searched through all of my makeup. I swear I still had it. But on top of this, all I would really do is put on a little bit of powder. This is the Wet n Wild press powder. I'm pretty sure I used like a Rimmel one or something similar. You know, nothing fancy. And I'm using an AOA Studio brush. I looked all over for the brush that I use because I know I have it somewhere. But it was just like this teeny tiny Bare Minerals kabuki brush that came with some little set that I bought that I didn't actually use, but I used the brush. Anyway, I can't find it. So I would just take a brush and just dust the powder on my face, because at the very least, I did know that my skin was oily. So there you go. And that, guys, is how I did my makeup in college. If I have figured it out, and hopefully by the time this video goes up, I have figured it out, I will have a picture like here, or both, I don't know, of what I looked like in college to show you I really didn't wear any makeup, and I definitely had oily skin. You can see every picture, it looked like a grease ball. Okay, so let's go back to high school now. Unfortunately, fortunately, I don't know, it depends how you look at it, I don't actually have any pictures of this phase in high school, which I said may be a good or a bad thing. I went through, like, the last year and a half of high school, I was super emo. Anyway, that last year and a half of high school, I pretty much decided, screw it, I am going to be who I want to be. I don't care if I don't fit in. You know, I just kind of wanted to experiment with how I looked, my hair, my clothes. So I had really short hair. It was kind of a pretty short bob, probably right around like my chin-ish. And it was supposed to be dark brown, but I have blonde hair naturally. So when I dyed it dark brown, it really turned black and then got stained that color, even though it was only semi-permanent, because my poor blonde hair soaked up all of that dye, and yeah, so I ended up with black hair in high school. Now, I pretty much did my makeup the same way. I didn't use a powder, really, but I didn't put much on, so it doesn't really matter. I did touch up. I'd use a concealer. That was about it. And late high school, early college, I did the whole, like, emo liner thing. So here's the Urban Decay Glide On Eye Pencil in Perversion, and I'm going to do my emo eyeliner for you. I also had no respect for the inner corners of my eyes, so I got them with liner as well. And then it usually ended up on my face somewhere throughout the day, but, you know, I didn't realize what I was doing. Yeah, got that black liner going. And no mascara. Like, I didn't believe in wearing mascara with this. I just put on black liner and went for it. Okay, I don't know why I ever thought this actually looked good. But, so along with the emo liner, I am still, of course, a millennial. This is the ColourPop Ultra Glossy Lip in Bestie. I think I used to use some Revlon lip gloss, like the... If you've ever seen those Stila lip glosses that look like a little paintbrush and you twist it and the product comes out of the tip, that's basically what I used to use. and it was this color. This is almost the exact color that I wore. But I wore black eyeliner and a pink glossy lip. I wish I could explain away my teenage ways, but I don't know, I really can't. One of the things that I really wanted to briefly touch on, though, is how deeply saddened I am about Chester Bennington's passing, and Chris Cornell, too, for that matter. The first band, I don't know how many people actually remember this, a little snippet of their lives, but the first song that ever came on when I learned to drive and I could drive on my own was Linkin Park In the End. I found out he died at work on my lunch yesterday, and I told some of the people around me, and what surprised me the most is we have this giant group of people at work that you would think had nothing in common aside from that we all work at the same place and do the same kind of thing. But when I told them about Chester Bennington, they all just looked shocked and said, "Oh my God, I loved Linkin Park." That really surprised me, that all of these people that I thought really could have nothing in common musically, you just kind of make assumptions sometimes and you're totally wrong, like I was. I could not believe that all of these people knew about him, listened to his music, but when you really think about it and really think about how long Linkin Park has been around, how many people that they touched, and the wide array of people that actually listened to their music. Linkin Park got me through some bad relationship problems. They got me through just doing my homework. They got me through playing World of Warcraft, and I was playing PvP, and I would put it on when I was real angry that people kept killing me. They literally got me through most of high school and all of college. Those are really formative years, and every one of their songs spoke to me in a different way. It felt like it was written for me. Anyway, I really just wanted to bring that up because we're talking about makeup, how I did it in high school and college, and like I said before, those are really formative years. That kind of shaped the way I thought about makeup for a long time because of the way that I did it then. Just like the way both Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington shaped basically those entire 8 years of my life. And that's part of the reason why I am the way I am today, is because of them and their music. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this kind of turned out to be more like how I did my makeup in high school / life talks, but I really appreciate it. It really hits me hard knowing that people feel like that's how they should solve all of their problems. And there's always someone that will be there to talk to you, to listen, to help. Or if you just, you need a shoulder, there's always somebody there. Just reach out, let them be there for you. If you guys like these videos, don't forget to give them a big thumbs up and subscribe before you leave. I hope you guys are having an awesome weekend, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!